Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Good everyone. So I remain Muhsin Damila Walariko, and I'm welcoming you to another session of the weekly hangout session. So it's our advice that you stay glued to us. Hey, sorry. English is the our advice that you stay with us till the end.
Yeah,
it promises to be interesting.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum
My
assalam
name
wa
is
barakatuh.
Uthman Oladejo. I'm also welcoming you to this week session.
So your voice is so cool today.
Abina.
Is it that Asiko Shino with it or what?
No. What's your concern with this one?
No. Al Muslim, Hakul Muslim. So I'm just caring. Okay, my brother's voice is not coming up very well, so I have to ask.
I'm okay. I'm alright.
Yeah, alright.
As you can see, yeah.
Okay. Alhamdulillah, yeah, okay. No. Okay, so starting with that hadith I recited, that hadith I just read, so it will be how will I even put it safe? So English is difficult for me today.
It's very difficult. You're fasting, Abi.
English is very difficult for me today. I don't know. So let me just say the hadith I just read now.
Okay.
So is a little bit similar.
Say you bye. It's not compulsory you say English.
It is a little bit similar to what we want to talk about today. So our topic of discourse today will be about the etiquette of dealing with neighbors.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question.
Which kind of neighbor?
Who are the neighbors safe?
Yeah,
From you. Can you answer?
Who are the neighbors?
On your own perspective, before talking about the Islamic perspective, who do you see as a neighbor?
Okay, let me see. Our neighbor is someone closer to us, someone who we can call for an emergency. If there's an emergency, someone we can call on time. For example, someone staying closer to us.
Do you know something is actually wrong with that definition? There are some times that you have neighbors in which you guys will be staying together and you guys will not talk at all. Maybe the neighbor is a kind of person that is a little bit reserved.
And it is still your neighbor, but the person just chose not to talk with you.
That's already an exception now. I'm just telling you, you just have to remove that one that, okay, you can call for emergency. Not everybody will respond.
Wow, I love that.
Family or friends, they are different from neighbors. I hope you get it now.
Family or friends might not stay closer to you.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you an example now.
Okay.
So, do you remember an incident that happened whereby a lecturer, we were close together, we were living together? You know, we are neighbors with that lecturer.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we told him that he should pick us up. What was his response?
He said
he declined.
He declined.
So that is telling me that neighbors, they are different from what? Family and friends. For family and friends, you wouldn't need to tell them before they will know that, okay, they have to.
Do you know there are some families too that will
are
deny
like neighbors
when you are in need of them? So it is vice versa.
Vice versa.
Let me say, neighbor is someone who you can call when in the state of emergency. Let me put it that way.
You are not changing it yet.
I'm not changing it. If the person chooses not to help you in the state of emergency, the person, he or she is still your neighbor, but the person just chose not to help you in the state of emergency. That's just the person's problem. So at least.
What if I don't accept that definition?
That you said it
earlier. Let's see.
The way I understand it, that's what you said earlier.
Let's talk about the Islamic perspective. So there's an hadith of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Okay.
When the Sahaba were asking the Prophet, okay, oh Prophet of Allah, who are my neighbors? Well, okay, when the Prophet was telling them that, okay, do this, do good to your neighbors, and they asked, who are my neighbors? The Prophet said, count 70 houses to your front, count 70 houses to your back,
wow,
count 70 houses to your right, count 70 houses to your left.
All
of these people are your neighbors. So
do
you know how to tell me? Do you know how to tell me that? Okay, wait, you know when you're talking?
Talk.
You know how to tell me that when you need anything, you can go to every of the 70 houses at the front of your house. Is it possible?
It is not possible. And also, it is not possible for those 70 at the front, at the back, at the right, at the left, that you won't see someone that will be very helpful.
And they will be helpful. But that definition of saying that somebody can call for emergency doesn't define a neighbor. You see, let me tell you something. There are families that are like neighbors. There are families that are like neighbors that whenever you call them to come and assist or to come and do some things, so they will not help. But there is difference between that family and neighbor. The only difference is that for that your family, you will be satisfied. Like you will have that, you will feel good and you feel relaxed to go and meet that person. Okay. But to talk of the neighbor, Ojo Amati, for example, now let me give you an example. At home.
Okay.
Let me give you an example.
You also tell me that
there are some issues.
Some of the families say
that they have the ability, but they are still different from neighbors. From neighbors, you can still be a little bit reserved.
Do you know that some
neighbors.
people that they are even closer to their neighbor than their family?
And it is normal, but they will still have reservations for family than neighbor. That is it. There are still more reservations for family than neighbor.
That the quote, let me say in quotes, emergency.
That's emergency.
That is exactly
because I believe it is only majorly the only category of people among the neighbor or family that you can use the word emergency for. 80% of family members, emergency will work for them, but I'm very sure 80% of your neighbors, emergency cannot work for them.
Depending on the relationship between you guys.
There are some neighbors. No, I'm telling you. Your own personal.
This topic is not the topic you have to discuss. It's a very big. I think it's a very broad topic.
Okay, so we should stop it here and just move on to the
exactly
etiquette.
Because what you are saying in the as regards family works like, how would I put it? This topic is something you shouldn't. Even we can't discuss it today unless if it is something we have to base on throughout today, because anything you see as regards family is also the same thing as regards neighbor, because there are some families there are some neighbors that are even closer to you that even do well than your family sometimes.
Okay, let me assist you.
Okay.
A family is a neighbor.
A family is a neighbor,
but a neighbor is not a family. All neighbors are not family.
Am I doing with bye?
Just so it's according to the hadith of the prophet. So your family are categorized under neighbor. So okay. when they are asking, they ask the prophet about who should we do good
neighbor
to
can
the
be classified
most?
as family.
So but who should we do good to the most? They said your neighbor. And who among your neighbor? It starts as a wife. It starts with your husband, then your children. So your blood should be given higher priority than those are not your blood. That is what the prophet teaches. So that means when you have an opportunity, you are a very bad person. If let me say your friend and your brother are both looking for an opportunity, and the opportunity can only accommodate one person, and you know that they are both qualified for it. So the person that should be given the preference is your brother, not your friend.
And that is me, because I am good.
No, that should be normal for every Muslim. I'm just saying
exactly.
I'm a good person now.
I'm not saying I'm not a good person. What we're actually talking about is that we are talking about the good neighbors and the good.
I'm not talking about the good neighbors. I've accepted your point there about the emergency. We should just stop saying those. We should stop it. So we have a topic for today, and that is importance. Stop talking. No more complaints.
Go.
So etiquette of relating with neighbors. So firstly, we should understand that according to the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in his hadith, so he said, "Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir." So among the attributes attached to that "Man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir" in that hadith was that is a person who is good and better, who acts very good to his neighbors. That's number one. Also, he added that the person who acts very good to visitors. So he talked about those two people, and those two people, I believe we can categorize them. No, we cannot categorize them. We are not actually concerned about today is about the category importance category of neighbors. Yeah. So this is just all about whoever believes in Almighty Allah and the last day should do good to his neighbors.
We're talking about You're talking about two categorize people.
No. I wanted to. There is not only about those two categories. Okay. So I wanted to align the two. I wanted to join the two of them together before, but I just remembered that visitors might not be neighbors. So we are not talking about visitors today. So I said let us just enter about that one point, which is all about you must be good to your neighbor. So that means if truly you believe in Almighty Allah and the last day, and for somebody to believe in Almighty Allah and the last day, you are a Muslim. And for somebody not to believe in Almighty Allah and the last day, the person is not a Muslim. Because how are you to believe in Allah and you say you are a Muslim?
I am a Muslim. That's impossible.
That means if truly you that are watching me today, and you that are looking at me, and me that I'm talking, if truly we all believe that, we all believe in Almighty Allah and the last day, which is Yawmul Qiyamah, then we should do what? We should do good to our neighbors.
Our neighbors, yeah.
So when we talk about our neighbors, in Islam, neighbors might be Muslims, they might be non-Muslims. We have etiquette of relating with them. Number one is that we shouldn't inconvenience them.
Okay.
I hope you remember. You shouldn't inconvenience your neighbors. You have to live with them. You have to consider them whatever you want to do. So, for example, you are waking up for tahajjud. It shouldn't be that it is that time that you know that okay, your neighbors are not Muslims. Even if they are Muslims, you shouldn't disturb them. Or you want to read the Quran in the midnight, don't read the Quran aloud so that you should not be waking them up.
Well, not only in the midnight.
Anytime you know that whenever you read any activities you want to do, it might be religious or non-religious. Ensure that you consider your neighbors.
Your neighbors, exactly. Any activity.
So even among the Sawab of the Hadith, because there was one time that when they wanted to observe Salah during the time of the Prophet, so one of the prophets was eating, I've forgotten, is it garlic? I've forgotten that Hadith. I don't know what the Hadith was prohibiting. I don't know what the Hadith was prohibiting. It seems the Hadith prohibited eating maybe garlic or camel meat, I don't know. But one of them, the major reason why it was prohibited was that it is stinking. It stinks the mouth. So for example, if you should eat all of this food and you are praying with somebody, is that when you just say Allahu Akbar, yay, you almost die. You almost die. So and the Prophet warned them from doing that. He said if you have done that, you have to go and do ablution again. So you can see how much Islam considers neighbors.
Exactly.
So it saddens me today when Muslims will be like neighbors are fighting, even Muslim to Muslim. So and these neighbors it doesn't really have to be a Muslim, non-Muslim. You have to do every of the rights.
Anywhere you find yourself.
Anywhere. So when he's celebrating things that are not attached to beliefs, I hope you understand that fact. Things that are not attached to beliefs. So any other, if it's things that are attached to beliefs includes for a non-Muslim, which is a Christian, if a Christian is celebrating Christmas, so you shouldn't partake in that. Or any other belief celebration that deals with their belief, if the person is not a Muslim. But anything that deals with just normal human relationship, a wedding ceremony, a naming ceremony, and every other ceremony, even housewarming, and every other normal ceremony that we know. Exactly. You have to partake. You have to see. We can. That is just it. We can see. So Islam doesn't stop you from doing all of these celebrations, in as much as it is not relating with their belief. So I believe time is gone now. So we just can you remind people about Juma tomorrow?
Okay, yeah. It's the Juma reminder. So as you've known, etiquette that's just what I have for you guys. Cutting of your nails, bathing and
so that people that cannot hear, so that they can be seen. You be talking, I'll be demonstrating.
Cutting of the nails, ritual bait. Yeah, what I was saying. Okay. So and reciting of Surah Al-Kahf. Oh yeah, demonstrate that for those that are not hearing us. So as you've known, I think that's all. And try.
Hey, you've forgotten your 1 hour.
1 hour, yeah. That particular hour. Don't forget. Don't let any hour
start from this night.
Go. Yeah, start from this night. This evening after Salat Maghrib. So don't let any hour should go without you supplicating, without you saying any dua, and keep chanting Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad wa sallim. Or
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad
kama sallaita ala Ibrahim
wa ala ali Ibrahim.
Salat Ibrahim, yeah.
To the end.
So now.
Okay, so we'll stop there for today, inshallah. So till next time, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.